Hello, today we have some great tips for you for the month of November. With the cooler weather, we actually start paying more attention to our cool season grasses. So we'll start with the turf tips. For those of you who are maintaining tall fescue or tall fescue Kentucky bluegrass mixes, now's the time to apply another application of fertilizer at about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of actual nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. Now with fertilizing our cool season grasses, we're going to have to mow it. So we want to continue to mow it at about 2 inches and be sure to water or irrigate your turf through the winter months if it's been really dry. Now as the leaves fall from our deciduous trees, you want to make sure that you remove those from your cool season grasses as well. Leaving them on the grass will damage the foliage. We can do this very easily by, if it's a light cover, running over it with the mower and chopping it up and allowing those chopped leaves to fall to the ground as organic matter. Or if it's a really heavy cover, we'll want to rake them, or use the bag on your mower and catch the leaves and then dump them in the compost pile, use it as a mulch, or throw them in an open garden bed and work them in for organic matter. But don't bag them and throw them on the curb and send them to the landfill. We'd prefer that you actually mulch them and throw them in the compost pile. Now you can also continue to control broadleaf weeds, the winter weeds such as dandelion, using a post-emergence broadleaf weed killer. Now early winter is a good time to do any pruning to deciduous trees if you need to. The only reason we should really be pruning our deciduous trees is for structural or safety purposes. Now with young thin-barked trees, we can also wrap them at this time to protect them from winter sun scald. If you want to protect your plants, your deciduous trees and shrubs from insects such as scale and other hibernating or overwintering insects, you can apply a dormant oil at this time. You want to use these when temperatures are above 40 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to make sure you follow label directions. And most of these dormant oils are not labeled for use on evergreens, so remember that as well. Now you can also continue to plant balled and burlapped and containerized trees and shrubs this month. For flowers, you can continue to plant tulips and other spring flowering bulbs through the middle of the month along with your pansies. And also the bulbs such as hyacinths, narcissus, and tulips can be potted in containers for indoor forcing. And then for your herbaceous perennials such as asparagus in your garden, chrysanthemums, ornamental grasses, and other herbaceous perennials, don't cut back the foliage right now. Allow that to remain on the plant. That helps protect the crown of the plant through the harsh winter months, and then be prepared to cut them back in late winter, early spring, just before new growth. For your fruit and nut trees, we want to delay pruning of fruit trees until February, March, just before bud break. For pecans and walnuts, we want to harvest them as soon as possible to avoid their deterioration of the kernels. And then finally, a few more tips. You can store garden seed in airtight containers in the refrigerator or freezer, and discard those that are 3 years or older. And now is also a good time to bring in your garden tools and equipment. For those that have metal parts, you might want to coat them with a thin layer of oil to protect them from rust. Go ahead and drain your fuel tanks, your irrigation lines, and your garden hoses, and bring those in if you're done using them.